Hi everyone, today is Monday, January the 27th. My name is Anne-Marie Band and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. We always start with the weekly candlesticks when we take a look at it, and we've had quite a whoosh this morning, mostly because DeepSeek is just blowing up the place, and I love upstarts that come in and say, convention says this, but what if we tried this? And I just love upstarts. I love people that say, I'm not going to think like everybody else, whatever. And they've come out with an amazing product. I've actually been trying to get in there all morning, and it is just, their servers are hitting max overload. So let's get back to it. What do we have today? New home sales, I think, at 10 o'clock. Other than that, nothing much. Take a look at where we faded to. 59.47. I want to show you how incredible Fibonacci's can help you with this. But from a weekly perspective, this candlestick right here may actually be the candlestick we continue to watch in weeks forward, as long as we close inside of this area with some kind of power. Okay? Clearly, well, maybe not clearly. What we can see is rotation from this big candlestick, right? And then I'm going to duplicate it again. Oh, maybe I'll do it in this direction. Yep. And so we can see upward and downward rotations from the weekly perspective based on this large candlestick here. A traditional Fibonacci event might be, hey, get the top of the range. We'll just take a look at this for now. We're very interested in whether we hold the halfway point of this outside candlestick in general. No, not really outside, but this large candlestick that we're watching. All right, enough chatter. 50% means 59.30 baseline support. But if we can't stay up over 6,000, really 59.94, the ES traders are going to become less enthusiastic about holding their position. Okay, let's go to the daily. Now, you might remember last time we spoke, I said, hey, why not use this candlestick right here and measure the rotation? And what we know is that we really have to hold the bottom of this candlestick. Buyers will stay in range in general, hanging at the bottom of this candlestick. And that number was 61.05, something like that. What is the actual low? 61.0150. Well, look at what happened in the overnight. We came right into that zone and immediately rejected the gap. So now this candlestick is giving us some kind of likely rotation because of its complete rejection. So I'm going to slap another Fibonacci up there. I wanted to go in the other direction. Sorry. I don't want that. Remove. Okay. I want this one going in the other direction. Wow. Can you tell my brain is still frazzled? It is. Okay, Sally. Here's what we want. Here's the 50% of the range, 61.27. I said, hey, we got to hold that for the buyers to stay in range. We closed there, but the gap down, look at where it collapses into. The 1.6, or no, what is that? It collapses into the Fibonacci that I have noted here. Oh, that's a 4. Okay, pretty big. Not really sure we could have seen that off the bat, that it would collapse into 4. But if we move down to an hourly chart, what we can see is the point where they try to move up, and that number is 60.84. It happens in the overnight, right? On the 26th. And then here we are. On the 27th, it just rotates right back over. Remember what we want to see. Fails to close lower. That did not happen until this candlestick. Breaches resistance. We could say it's 59.94 and then pulls back into a higher support. Same 59.94. That's where I think the bounce zone is. Buyers above, sellers below. Okay? That's what we're looking at. NQ. Gosh, I hope that wasn't too much. I feel like who knows. All right, so here we are. Another Fibonacci. Weekly rotation. trying to retrace this candlestick. So my thought is buyers are going to feel comfortable buying the dip as long as we hold 20,694. Okay? The top of the edge at 22,150 is also a gamma line, but who knows if we'll get there. I don't think so. Welcome to volatility. All right? A lot of folks that use stops are going to have a rough time, and folks that are way into and have huge amounts of Nvidia are probably going to be crying, especially if they bought it on these highs. But the goal is, can the traders get up and over 21,231? Buyers will re-engage. We've got 21,005. Let's see what the actual close of that is. No, that's the open. 21,600. That's going to be the number to watch. Okay, so let's go to the daily chart. See what these traders did. Right, let's remove all the fib sequences. And then look at these inside candlestick rotations. This was the one I drew. Right? The goal is, can we stay in that line? And we opened up right at the low and immediately rejected it. 4 standard, 4 on the Fibonacci's. And then it began to bounce. So we can look to the left and go, oh, there's a little support. So I know that's important. And that support zone is 20,694. Great number. Okay. Let's take a look at where the buyers are saying, hey, we got to get up and stay up over this area. My thought, that number is 21,250. If we bounce into that zone anywhere nearby, and we almost did a minute ago, no, not quite. We still have a little bit of room to get there. That's also the VWAP this morning, right? 21,250. Sellers are going to try and come in here. Buyers are going to try and hold it. My thought is above 21,250, buyers are going to take over. Below 21,250, sellers are more likely in charge. Where's the rotation down? We've got the 20,694, 20,472, and then this very, very big VWAP space, 20,273. I think it bounces, but that's just me. You know, how do we know when something's going to buy? Hi, Marie, so many fib levels. How do I know where to buy? Well, here's the thing. What do you have to do? 1, fail to hold lower. Here's the first time. 2, test of resistance. That looks like it to me. 3, pulls back and holds a higher low. So if you say to yourself, all right, it's pulling back. I'm taking 50, I'm taking 21,523 as my spot. If it starts losing 21,530, you're done. Get out and reset, because look at this. Look at the slope of the Keltner. Look at the slope of the VWAP. Look at the slope of the exponential moving average. Look at the location of momentum. All of that tells you that the bounces are going to be sell zones. Every single one of them. Now, let's look what happened here. 1, fails to close lower. That's the first candlestick. 2, bounces into resistance. Well, that's right here. So what should happen at the resistance zone? A pullback that holds a higher low. So don't go buying it here. Why? Because everything's negative. Let it pull back and close above the zone. Momentum is too negative for it to just have a rocket ship to the moon, by and large. Okay? So that's what we're going to look for. And in general, I am saying 21,250 above, buyers are going to take control. Sitting below 21,250, sellers are likely in control. All right, let's go to the YM. Okay, how about we get rid of these fibs? But they did work very nicely. Let's go to the weekly. Still in the boxes. These guys are holding their boxes pretty well. Inside candlestick forming. Notice the strength of the YM compared to the strength of the S&P and the NASDAQ. The NQ, NASDAQ, is steep, down. ES, also down, but that's because the big tech sit in both of those indices, right? YM, a couple of them sit in there. Not so dramatic. Inside candlestick forming today from a weekly perspective. Here's our downside rotation. We got to hold the 50% range on the mini Dow here, the YM, 44,135. If we move above, we've got ourselves a nice rotation. If we move down, we need to come into 43,500, and then we'll look at more upside pressure there. Okay, let's go to the daily. Here are Fibonacci's. These work fine right now. They match really well. Take a look at the motion. It's very sideways, right? I expect rotation down simply because that's all the Dow has been doing since November. Literally. So what are we looking for? Bounces that sell off. Where's the do or die zone? My thought is this. If the buyers can recover 44,000, let's see. I'm going to shift this line. No, I'm not. 44,325. I think the buyers will try to shove their way up. Momentum is very steep. Notice, when momentum is very steep, and I'm close to the edge of the Keltner band, and I have upward pressure, I'm going to be in a sideways rotation. So this is going to be sell the top, buy the bottom. All right? Could the bottom be deeper because of whatever is going on? Absolutely. Right? I love the area near 43,680. That makes a great support edge. It might not come today, but as we sit, this is a sideways pattern. We've got upward pressure, so you don't want to go shorting on the lows, please. That's not a good idea right now. Let it confirm. Hourly formations, starting to hold some traction like the rest of everybody. But again, this is a rejection zone. How do I know that? Trend and momentum are down. And so when trend and momentum are down, and I get a counter trend move, that counter trend move is into resistance. That's what this is measuring. It's measuring resistance. Where's the last time we had all of the motion? It was right here, and everybody sold off. Okay, so we expect that sell-off. Potentially, 44,150 looks like a nice area for buyers to defend. If not, we head to what the sellers are, and that is this value area. What? That's the value area low, and that is 43,900. All right, let's go to Bitcoin. As she tries to find her stinking mouse. Okay, here we go, folks. All right, micro Bitcoin. All right, give it up a little bit. I like it. Look at the sideways pattern. Remember, when we're near the top of the band and we have very steep momentum, we're going to have sideways motion that grinds into support and then bounces again. And that's what we've had over the last couple of weeks. But guess what? See this? Let's remove all the fibs here, just in case I got some crazy ones on the others. See this candlestick right here? This literally is the fight zone. If we hold 97,000 and bounce off of it, and we did in the overnight, we've got ourselves upside action, right? Momentum, trend, everything looks good. If we lose this 50% range, 89 is the next test there, right? Let's take a look at the daily chart and see if there's anything telling us what to look for. Here's our 50% bounce. If it comes back there, they're going to try and buy it again, right? What happens when momentum is high and trend is slightly positive, but we've stopped making new highs? Here's the double topping formation. We've got sideways grind until a new direction takes over, right? I don't know the direction, but we'll let a new direction take over, or we'll confirm the edge. And right now, they're confirming this. Dips are buys. And that's what we're seeing. Where has most of the pressure in price action taken place? Well, it's this candlestick right here. And so let's draw Fibonacci on it. Say it goes in the other direction. All right? That's telling us that if we can get up over 104,000, we're going to spike into 106, 107, value area high, 108, 108,500, and then we go sideways again. I think this is in a brand new wide sideways pattern. That's my gut. Okay? let's take a look at oil. All kinds of oil shenanigans going on. Let's delete our Fibonacci's here. Right? Take a look at our weekly chart. Oh my goodness, we're back into this trench. Look at this trench. Literally, it's a trench, right? Top of the trench, 80.50. Bottom of the trench, 66. So let's measure the midline of this trench. Let's go from here to here. If I can hold the 72 area, I've got myself some buying pressure. So, could I lose this zone? Absolutely. I suspect buyers above 72 will try to buy if it comes into 72. And if it loses 72, we're going to have sellers below. There's going to be a lot of noise right here at this 72. There could also be a lot of noise here at 80 because trend is trying to reverse. We can see it from a daily perspective, and take a look at this. Our daily chart says momentum is down. Trend is up to flat. That's a cross current. Cross currents are going to give us resistance to support trades, right? Range trades. And so we can clearly see there's a congested range right here at 74.30. All right? But this momentum being steep, moving averages still trending down on the tighter ones. It's flat on the longer one. This is still sideways. My thought would be deeper dips into, say, that 72, give us the buy zone, and then spikes up above could give us a sell zone, but we have to watch where we take profit, and that looks like 75.20, right? Something like that. I don't think there's any more to that right now. Yeah, that's what I would say, right? If you want to trade these tighter moving averages, notice this grind downward. It's still telling me the bounces are sell zones, right? It's just very wide and sideways. So don't get caught in this garbage. Wait up here into the 75, 76 zone, or wait down here for a structural change. What is that? 1, I failed to close lower. 2, I bounce into resistance. 3, I pull back and make a higher low. So look at how that looks here. 1, fail to close lower. That's here. 2, breach of resistance. That's the last near-term spike. 3, pulls back, holds a new higher support zone. That means the buy zone engages in between this candlestick and this one. And where are you going to? Old resistance. Why? Because the trend is down. Okay? Just walk through the candlestick formations like that. It's going to keep you in between the lines. All right. Lastly, let's go here. As you know, I believe gold is going to continue to trend to the north, but nothing goes in a straight line in the market. So what do we got going on today? Got a little bit of a fade. Topping formation, still 2,800. 50%, I am not oh, I did the wave here. This is very interesting. I used the wave here. I still like that wave. Although, what I think I might want to do is add... I'm going to add a Fibonacci here. See if this is an inside day. It's got to hold 27.55. Buyers above, 27.55. Sellers below. But there's always going to be somewhat of a fight club right here. Support edge, 27.12. You know there's a ton of congestion at 27.40, right? So keep your eyes on that number. That's very clearly what's going on here. Look at where momentum is sitting. Oh, right in the middle of a sideways slop. Deep dips, buys, 27.40 right now. Big spikes, sells, but you better have your stop tight. Okay, everyone, that's it for me. I'll see you on the streams. Take care.